Hey everybody, Scared89 here, bringing you another review vlog. A day late on this one. Some things happened yesterday. Wasn't able to get this video going, so hope to have this one be shorter than the Raw one. 25 minutes was a bit longer than I wanted. So let's dive right into Tuesday's Smackdown episode. The show kicked off with James Ellsworth, since he seems to be the big thing going on right now, talking to Dean Ambrose. And shockingly, Ambrose declines Ellsworth's invitation to accompany him to the ring for the main event. Number one contendership is on the line, so we have a main event for SmackDown with some real stakes to it. Something that Raw didn't have on Monday. Interesting, Ambrose says no. I like it. Doesn't pander to the crowd, stays true to his character, isn't just going to be like Cena and be like, yeah, come with me, you're the underdog, yeah, I love you. Anyway, move on to our no DQ match to kick off SmackDown. Kane versus Bray Wyatt. Getting kind of tired of seeing this match. Luckily, it really wasn't that long. Luke Harper kind of got involved a bit. Love Luke Harper. Feel like there could be a little bit more out of that guy. They should be utilizing him a little bit better. Feel like his Intercontinental title reign from a little while back was short-lived and showed his potential. But anyway, back to the match. Real interesting stuff. Randy Orton comes out to help even the odds. Luke Harper backs off kind of like a bitch. Which kind of had me puzzled. I don't know. I get the whole heel thing, and some of them are chicken shits, but it just, I don't know. He didn't even have a confrontation with the guy, and he just jumps right out of the ring. Anyway, that just might be nitpicking. And it looks like Bray Wyatt is about to get the wrath of God as Kane's ready for the choke slam. Orton's ready to pounce with the RKO, and Orton RKO'd Kane. Interesting. I like it. We got some unpredictability on the show. And then Orton just kind of walked out. Wyatt finishes off, wins the match. I don't know. This is interesting. I'm going to skip ahead a little bit later on in the show. Orton just does a real quick segment where he says if you can't beat him, join him. I hope we're not repeating the Seth Rollins-Orton feud where Orton was in the Authority, kind of, and the whole time he was basically leading the audience by their hand to the fact that, yeah, hey, I'm actually the good guy, I'm not bad. I hope this isn't a repeat of this, or a repeat of the Daniel Bryan Wyatt family storyline. It is actually interesting if Orton, at least for a little bit here, actually was full-blown heel, and with the Wyatts, you could say that, you know, the psychological warfare finally got to Orton. It would actually give some gravity to what Bray Wyatt does, because he acts like he talks all this shit and can mind control everybody, but he never really has successfully. Kidnapped Kane and tortured him. Thought he was going to come back years ago and be a part of the Wyatt family. No, he's fine. He just needed some time off. He's old. Anyway, moving on. Becky Lynch came out to do a promo, and Alexa Bliss interrupted her. Fantastic promo work by both of them, but really Alexa Bliss. I feel like she is she's going to be the gem of the SmackDown women's division. And I always knew she was good in NXT. She really owned her character, her heel character. She's going to be that on SmackDown Live. I think she's probably the next women's champion. I hope she beats Becky in Scotland. That'd be really cool, wouldn't it? Yeah, interesting back and forth, jabbing at each other. The Becky Lynch thing is still very weird to me. She had her emergency, and Alexa Bliss kind of makes fun of it, but we, the audience, still aren't told what happened. And then in an interview I was reading, Becky Lynch said she had something removed. man, we were being very secretive about this. So I don't know. It's anytime you let the fans let their imaginations run wild, probably not a good thing. Ascension versus Hype Brothers to see who would be on Team Smackdown for the Survivor Series match, the Tag Team Survivor Series match, which is going to be a giant clusterfuck, by the way. Throwaway match. Really wanted to see an Ascension win here to start building these guys up. Nope, Hype Brothers win. I'm so over this tag team, and I'm so tired of the Ascension being buried. They were so dominant and good in NXT, and they've been shat on ever since JBL shat on them when they first debuted on Raw, so long ago. So, real disappointing stuff here. Ascension eats another loss. Shocking. Natalya has a segment with Daniel Bryan. They kind of go back and forth. She still wants to be... She really wants to be captain of Team SmackDown for the Women's Survivor Series match, so Bryan books a match where it's Natalya versus Nikki Bella. The winner becomes the captain of that team, and the loser is off the team. Cool. Another match where you got some stakes. I like it. This is a pattern for SmackDown. There are stakes in a lot of these matches. There's a reason to tune in. There's a reason I need to see these matches because the results directly impact something, which is great. So Natalya, Nikki have their match, and Nikki wins. Big surprise, no shocker there. She actually hooks in an STF that's better than John Cena's. Hilarious. At this point, I think John Cena is just trolling us wrestling fans and doing the STF how he does it because fuck us, I guess. I don't know. Then Carmella comes in, the never-ending Carmella and Nikki feud, and beats the ever-loving shit out of Nikki again. Since we've got Survivor Series after Hell in a Cell, I'm kind of not sure. I mean, is the blow-off going to be on SmackDown for this feud? Because I feel like it needs to be a no DQ match or some type of no-holds-barred match for this feud to end. It needs to be brutal. These two obviously fucking hate each other. There needs to be some type of brutal blow-off to this match. At least that's what I'm hoping for. I was kind of hoping for that at No Mercy, but we just got a regular singles match. Whatever. Anyway, Miz and Maurice come out with Spirit Squad. Spirit Squad do their shtick. It's funny, I was actually watching a bit of WrestleMania 22, and to see them... 10 years ago, that was Spirit Squad. Now they're still on my TV in 2016. But hey, they're entertaining. It's kind of funny. Ziggler comes out, says he'd give him a rematch for the title, yada, yada, yada. Turns into a six-man tag match. Pretty good stuff. Enjoyable match. Progresses the feud a little bit. Meanwhile, Heath Slater and Rhino and Dolph Ziggler, they really mesh well together, I think. I like them as kind of, not necessarily a unit, but as allies. I think it makes sense, and they blend well. Rhino wins with the gore. Just scrolling down the reviews here, or the overlay for the show here. AJ Styles versus Dean Ambrose, our main event for the evening. Fantastic work. Again, I feel like I've seen this match a million times, but I'm almost to that level where it's like, okay, enough with the Dean Ambrose versus AJ Styles matches. I'm getting tired of this. But number one contendership on the line. The interesting part in this is, earlier in the show, finally Dean Ambrose says, you know what? Well, actually, it was right before the match. You know what, Ellsworth? Come out to the ring with me. A man with two fists has a fighting chance. And he accompanies him to the ring. And the funny thing is, AJ Styles throughout the match is kind of taunting Ellsworth. He actually hits him a couple times, knocks him over, which I find hilarious. Ellsworth has got such a punchable face. I just love it. So finally, towards the end, at the end of the match, actually, AJ Styles is outside the ring, and he's bullying Ellsworth again. And finally, Ellsworth is fed up. He's had enough of this shit. And he gives him the no-chin music right in front of the ref, who is counting out AJ Styles. The story on this was very, very cool because it's just a real quick hits him with the no-chin music, and you go, oh, shit. he did that right in front of the ref. That's a DQ. And the ref just kind of looked shocked at what he just saw, and Ambrose is begging, no, don't DQ me, because the number one contendership is on the line. Another shot at his title is on the line. And the ref finally said, yeah, I got to do it, rings the bell, and Ellsworth just cost Dean Ambrose the number one contendership. Very cool stuff. You know what SmackDown did that Raw was selling for a pay-per-view, so they're not really building to the next Raw. They're building to Hell in a Cell, and they really did a shitty job doing that. But what SmackDown is trying to sell on this show is you tuning in next week. And I have a couple things that I really want to see next week. I want to see where this Randy Orton thing is going, because I want to see if this heel turn is true, it's legit. So that's really cool and interesting to me. I want to see what the hell's going on there. The Dolph Ziggler-Miz feud, I mean, this was kind of a filler episode for that feud, but still that feud is hotter than hell. So I always want to see what's going on in that feud for the next show. And then this, James Ellsworth screws Dean Ambrose in his match. I want to see what the fallout is on this. You could go a couple directions. You could go with Ambrose getting really frustrated with Ellsworth and, I don't know, hitting him or beating the shit out of him. I don't know if they're going to go that way. Or you can find out that Ellsworth is actually paid off by AJ Styles. I mean, there's a lot of avenues that this storyline could go, and I'm really interested where they're going to go with it. Is Ambrose somehow going to become the number one contender anyway, or is there another challenger that's going to come up? Is Cena going to finally come back again? I don't know. I don't think Cena's supposed to be back. Actually, you know what? I think I was reading that he's supposed to be back for Survivor Series. Correct me if I'm wrong on that. But SmackDown set you up to be very interested in what's going to happen next. So SmackDown probably gets a solid, let's give it an 8. I think SmackDown was a really top to bottom solid show. I was enjoying it throughout. Really the only kind of dull moment was the tag team match with Ascension and Hype Bros, and then a disappointing end to that match. But for the most part, it was just a great show. Much better than Raw, so I mean, I'm not going to do a whole new video to compare who won the war, but SmackDown won. Easy. Really no contest here. And most weeks, last week I think Raw had a better show. The whole build to Goldberg and all that, and SmackDown was kind of weak last week. But this week, and that was definitely not the standard. Normally SmackDown dominates Raw, and it was back to the same old for this week. SmackDown dominated Raw. It's just a better show, better writing, better storylines, better feuds, better everything. So that about wraps it up. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Stay tuned. If these kind of catch on and you guys like them, I'll happily keep doing them. If you'd rather me do writing, I can do writing. I'm open to anything. So have a great night, guys, and I'll see you next time.